Imagine not being Leeds, not feeling this pain, not dancing through thunder, not walking through rain. Imagine not rising with fists in the air when the world turned its back and no one would care. We've lived in the ashes, we've drowned in defeat, but still we stand proud on our battered old feet. Imagine not loving with all that you are. Imagine not being Leeds.
We love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.
We do love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds. Now then, everybody, welcome back to everyone's favourite Friday night show. It's Late Night Leeds. Come on, let's go. Late Night Leeds is back, properly back, with games to come and everything. Let's go. Oh, lads.
Been waiting for this, haven't we, for a while?
For a long, long time. For weeks and months and years, it feels like. We're back in the Premier League, boys. We are back where we belong. Everton on Monday. What a feeling. But before we get into the nuts and crannies of everything Leeds United, how are you doing, Sean? It's been a while.
I'm all right, yeah. Good. Good to be back. Good to be back with you boys. Been a couple of weeks now, hasn't it? Back to games now, isn't it? I'm excited for Monday. I don't know if I'm disappointed we're not playing tomorrow, or I'm quite excited it's Monday night under the lights, you know. Unfortunately, couldn't get a ticket, but I've even booked the night off work so I can watch the game. But yeah, I'm all right. I'm okay. You guys all right?
Adam?
I'm all good, thanks, guys. Yeah, all good.
Recovered from Dublin?
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm gutted I missed that. Gutted I missed that.
Thing is, it didn't take me a while to get over sort of like being drunk and tired and all stuff that goes with a long weekend, not drink. It's taken me till today to get excited for Monday after the Dublin Blues all week, because I've been very down up until about maybe last night, and then now I'm excited again now with what's to come, you know, this next week. You know, I'm buzzing.
What was the atmosphere like? Come on, talk to me. You not told me. Was it amazing atmosphere? Oh, what it?
I think the city atmosphere was. The city was buzzing, like just walking around. Every other person seemed to be wearing a Leeds top. Yeah, that's the most incredible aspect, I think. Just like down all the pubs, in the bars, in the ground. It felt like a pre-season friendly, to be honest. Like, it was fine. Yeah. It was good atmosphere, but it did feel like a pre-season friendly. So
you didn't have that sort of banter with, you know, opposition fans and stuff, like rivalry, you know, like what you get with, like, you know, like a big game experience. But like you say, Adam, the vibe in the city, were bang on. But in the ground, it was just a friendly, probably a little bit too friendly, because it was a friendly, you know. Don't know.
Well, there weren't any opposition fans there, or were there?
There were a few.
Were there a few?
Yeah, Milan fans, yeah.
Yeah, about 1,000, just sporadically everywhere. Yeah, but I think the Camden afterwards, the atmosphere in there, just packed full of Leeds fans, seeing marching on together and everything. It's just great. That was great, brilliant.
Yeah, it was unbelievable, mate. What did you make of the actual game, Sean? Just to sort of finish up on pre-season, undefeated. Obviously, wanted to get your views on the game.
I didn't watch it all. Yeah, I've only caught highlights, lads. I was out in Knaresborough. Out on piss, basically. In there. So I did. I sort of double booked. I'm like, I can't believe it. I'm double booked, but I had to go. So I only caught the highlights. And what I saw, I thought they did have the better chances. That's what I've heard. And what I saw, they had the better chances. But I thought we held his own. Thought we looked fine. I thought Stack, obviously, quality. And you can tell he's next level. Took his goal really well as well. So, happy what I saw, to be honest. Really happy. But again, it's pre-season. A bit like the Villarreal. You know, I went to the Villarreal game, and again, that were a bit flat. But I'd like to have seen a few more goals this pre-season. I'm not including those behind closed doors ones in Germany. But yeah, no, I'm happy with what I saw from all three main friendlies.
Do you know, on Stack, like, when I think about the team and the signings, all roads lead back to Stack. When I think of excitement about the season, who's going to do well, everything leads back to Stack. Every single time. I was watching Liverpool, Bournemouth tonight, and you watch the pace, the power of the teams, the precision, the crispness of the passing. It's just completely different level to anything in the Championship. Clearly, obviously, But I mean, it was the champions of England, so it's fine. But
you can tell as well. Obviously, you'll watch them against Milan. You can tell the quality of certain players, can't you?
Yeah.
Like you just said, the movement, how they're so comfortable on the ball, the pace of the passes are just spot on. The range of passing, especially with Stack, for such a tall guy.
Yeah,
fantastic. Short
Football
passing,
IQ
long
as well.
range.
Football IQ to understand positioning on the ball, off the ball, when to release the ball. I mean, do it 2K away, but he seemingly has it all. Because football IQ is so important, such an underrated thing. Because you watch Konate tonight, always out of position, didn't know when to come over, when to hold his line. He sort of was all over the place, and that's really, like they're like the small details, small margins that can cause you to concede 2-3 goals a game. And Stack's got all of that.
Give me 1 minute, boys.
What's going on?
That bloody dog's got balloon again.
Ease it off, mate. It's fine. Honestly, just before we came on air, before you came in, Adam, it were fighting a bleeding spider. He should have had Rachel in the background. There's a spider. So he was like, there isn't. Is there? Like it were like, I don't know, someone had just broken in with 8 arms and 8 arms and legs. Like, ooh, I'm a spider. It was funny as well. Watching him attack a spider before we come on with class.
Does Sean not like spiders either? Then
no, I picked it up, but we started giving the dog a blown up balloon, so she plays with it constantly. Wears it out. And Rachel's decided to give it. I took it off and give it back, and all I can hear is this squeak, squeak, squeak.
Well, that's what happens when you give your dog chuffing laughing gas. What do you expect? What are you playing at? Dog's
right in me ear.
Belting.
I'll tell her she's ruined stream. She's ruined it.
Danny Dovey, I am keeping this tash till I think after the walk. I might shave after the walk. Yeah, probably get more donations for shaving the tash than I will for actually walking 41 miles from Old Trafford to Villa Road. To be fair, people are sick of this hideous moustache.
Everyone talks about tash in Dublin. People come up to you and like, everyone looks so disappointed when they see it in person as well. Like, why didn't you shave that off? Like, it's like a relative's day. Oh,
it looks better in person, though. Come on, it looks better in person.
Yourself. What? You've not been taking care of yourself there, mate.
Love it. Anyways, the comments have been flooding in already about DCL. So that's sort of the big news this week. We know we need a striker. We know we're short in areas. We want quality. We want, let's be fair, the fan base wants some money spent in these areas. So DCL has split the fan base a little bit. I think the last 24 hours it's sort of nudged a little bit more to people being in favour, looking at polls and other channels, etc. It's one of them where if you're talking a few years ago, he's probably way above our level. He's probably going to an Arsenal and etc. So we know the player, the profile of the player. If he were fit on a regular basis, he's going to do well for Leeds United Premier League. But 3-year deal confirmed earlier today by Farker in the presser, which we'll get into soon, Sean. But yeah, your first initial thoughts when the link become a little bit more than a link, and you know before it happened, but you sort of thought it was going to happen. What were your initial thoughts, Adam? Go with that.
Initially,
it's
underwhelming because I mean, striker wise, Muniz was the only one that was ever really properly linked over the summer. I feel like a few names come up from just random journalists, didn't seem to be going anywhere. Had no legs to any of them. And then you go to a free agent, which sort of came from nowhere. A very good player. So the first thing I did, I looked back at some of the Everton highlights from last year. A couple of games he did pretty well in. He didn't score. I think he scored 4 goals last year, 3 goals. A couple of games he did pretty well in. And what I was really looking for, seeing physically, is he still got it? Because everyone talks about his injury record like he's lost his bit of pace or his leap or whatever. Actually, watching him, none of that at all. I think I'm now. And then you watch his interviews and how well he talks about it all and how up for it he is. And you can start finding positives in it more so anyway. I mean, there's obviously positives to find anyway, but you find more positives, and then you just look at him as a player and what he's done in the past, and he's still that player. It's still that player in there. If you can I think Leeds United is a great club to go to. You go to Leeds United, the fans will back you. They'll get on your back if you're not doing well as well. So it's sink or swim. And I think he'll swim now, because I think that's his only option. I think the change will do him good, and I think Leeds United's perfect club for that.
Yeah, I agree. About you, Sean? I agree with all that.
Yeah, I would have been. I think same as most of the fans. I was like, oh no, not another croc. It's against hamstring injuries. They're not great. We know that they do take time to get over. If you've had one, it's more than likely you're going to get another. But then obviously you look like he did play 26 times. He did play 26 times. He appeared 26 times last season. Okay, his numbers weren't great. I've got mixed feelings. I watched the interview with the Everton fan on Just Yours as well the other night. I don't know if you guys watched that. He was very negative about Dominic Calvert-Lewin. A bit like everything he said reminded me of a Patrick Bamford. Works hard, for the team, holds up ball, things like that, but can't finish. Now, I am not comparing Dominic Calvert-Lewin to a Patrick Bamford. He is definitely a better player, and whoever says he isn't is crazy. He's a better player. Listen, his Premier League experience, 11 international caps. We know what he can bring, and I'm excited. He's the right profile of what we want. Strong, tall, great with his head, great with knockdowns, holds up the ball, great off the shoulder. Everything we want. It's just that we've just got to make sure he stays fit now. If we can get 25, 30 games from him, we've done well. And if we do that, no doubt he's going to bank goals in for me. I think he's definitely going to get more than 10 goals this season if we can keep him fit. And going off, I'm actually growing more in confidence. Now he's signed and you've listened to the interviews with him. He's saying he's feeling great. Best shape he's been in for a long time.
Yep.
Like Adam said, it's a brand new start for him. He said it himself. It's like, walking into school on your first day. He's really excited about it all, meeting new people. Sometimes that's just what players need. And he's only 28-year-old, so it's a good age. So I'm actually really excited to see him play in a Leeds shirt.
Yeah, me too, mate. I've sort of changed my opinion on it. When I think if you'd have gone back a few days and Burnley would have signed him, or Sunderland, I wouldn't have batted an eyelid. And I think that's fair to say they haven't batted an eyelid either. It's one of them signings where we would not have been jealous of it like we had been at times with Diarra or Siddiqui and other players that we've maybe looked at or been interested as a fan base as well. And this is one that wouldn't have bothered us. But like Ashley says here, brilliantly, really. And I sort of look at it this way too. Farker, Leeds United, a little bit of luck along the way in the last 2 years. We've got players with injury records through seasons. Byram, Solomon. Like I said, there'll be a bit of luck in there. You need to ride your luck with things like this, but you've also got to look at it and think the longevity over 2 years. Byram's not had a major injury. That's down to managing minutes, and there'll be some people say, but we shouldn't be signing players who need to be managed like that. But this is part of football. This is part of any company, any business. When you're a manager, everyone has to be micromanaged, and everyone's needs are different. You might work in an office and have someone who's got mental health problems, and maybe you react to them and deal with them in a different way than you would somebody else who maybe just goes on with a business, not a care in the world. Everyone's different. So with the sports science and everything that is in football these days and sport, I don't think with the finances it'll be big. It might be a big wage, but I think the fact he would a free transfer, I think it was worth the gamble. Now, if you tell him we've spent 10, 15 million on him, I'd say it's probably a bad signing because the cons maybe outweigh the sort of pros when you add more money into it. But with it being a free, I think it's definitely worth a gamble based on the fact that what we've seen this club do over 2 years under this regime is manage players minutes, and the fact very similar to Bamford in terms of at Everton when he were down and out, they were rushing him back, they needed him back because he was number 9. They haven't had a wealth of talent in that number 9 for a few years, a bit like us with Bamford. We rushed him back time after time after time again because we didn't have anybody else. So they were never really given the opportunity to get fully fit and get those minutes under the belt without being rushed back a little bit. So I kind of agree with that comment there, lads, and think he's probably come to the right club. We'll back him, and I think Farker's the right man for him, Adam.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think Farke's quite good at getting players that are in Farke's good books, he's good at getting great things out of them, especially strikers. But one thing we know about Calvert-Lewin as well, he's brilliant in the air. He'll still be brilliant in the air, and he's very different to Nemecha and Perot in that his profile is very, very different. Because that's you know, like it's like Pajal trying to go for him, and then you get him as a winger, and he's levels above everyone else. So then you can't always obviously get the same with Muniz. Muniz would be much better than Pro and the Mecha. But actually, when you get someone of a similar level, you go, okay, that's our striker squad. And there's a big comfort in that, oddly, that there's not a massive drop off any which way, and you can do a horses approach in the three players. And the same with the wingers. I think wingers will get probably somewhere a slightly better level, hopefully, but similar level. And there will be a winger squad that sort of where Harrison doesn't come to it. I think Nonto, Ramazani, James plus one, hopefully. I think Calvert-Lewin, he'll play into, like I was watching in Dublin, and you had stack on free kicks or corners, and he was crossing into Strauch and Rodon, same we had all in the Wales Championship, and Rodon doesn't tackle the ball well at all. So I was like, all these big players everyone keeps going on about, and we're sort of no better off at the moment. I know Bijal was suspended, wasn't playing as a result, suspended for Everton, so they picked Strauch over him, and Bornau's injured. But I think Calvert-Lewin plays into that as well. Ampadu long throws. Imagine Ampadu long throws into stack Calvert-Lewin, Bijal all up there. First ball, second ball. It makes a big difference. I think he can offer a lot.
He's got a great leap as well, hasn't he?
He's got an amazing leap. Yeah.
Great leap. And he's 6 foot. It's a great leap.
He's probably about 6'2", I think. He's tall, and he
yeah.
I think so. He's brilliant in there.
I think the opposition side will play this season. They're going to know they're in a game when they play Leeds, and that's a great attribute as a side and a club to actually have. We speak about a lot about the physicality and stuff like that, and we'll have to see how good the football is to watch. Hopefully, it's still. I've heard some people say it's going to be turgid. I ain't quite sure it's going to be that bad, if I'm honest. I quite like the patterns of play we still do. I still think we've got players in there who can cause problems down the flanks as well, but. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how sides sort of deal with Leeds at Ellen Road. I think when you put physicality into, on the pitch, into a hostile Ellen Road, if we can galvanise as fans, that's a match made in heaven for me to make it as close to a fortress, which a fortress in Premier League for a newly promoted side, you may still lose 5, 6, 7 games at home, but can we get it to a level which is, better than the average for a newly promoted side at home? Because for me, lads, that's the kicker. That's the way we stay in this division. Because you always get freak results away from home. We will get wins away.
Not losing at home, isn't it? It's winning and drawing, mate. Yeah. Of course.
By the way, you've only got to win 6 games at home. You've only got to win 10 games overall, and lots of draws. So if you win 6, it's only 6 games. That's why Monday's massive. By the way, what Joe said there as well about watching tonight, and I agree with him, because I think teams are there to be got at. I think you watch teams. Liverpool. I think football's becoming a little bit more stretched and attacking again. Other than Arteta and Arsenal and Pep, who wants to control the ball all the time, a lot of other teams, Newcastle's, Chelsea control, I suppose, Liverpool, they want to have those stretch games, and that's where the 4-3-3 comes into their own because it's not turgid, but you're looking for moments. You're looking for moments where you can get Dan James one-on-one with a fullback, and he's got to beat him. The left winger one-on-one. That's why you need that direct left winger. You can't have someone that's turning back. If you get those one-on-one moments, you got to go for them. And I think that's why we need a second winger. But
that's what Calvert-Lewin brings as well. Those moments, he did it a number of times for Everton. That he got on points that kept him up. Important points. And he said it himself, didn't he, in the interview with Jermaine Beckford. He could have gone Champions League teams. He could have had it easy, and he didn't. He wanted to come to Leeds. He knows we're going to be in a battle this season, and he's up for it. He's been there. He's got the experience these past few seasons with Everton, and it's experience he can pass on to the rest of the lads. So,
absolutely. It's a good signing. He forms a good part of the squad. He's different. He can be a difference maker in terms of he's different to the other ones. So,
of course, I've said to you a few times, and I was in chat, I'm not like I love an underdog, like everybody does, and when I watched the high performance, I did podcast, but I think only the trailers come out currently. I think it was a good time to release. They released the trailer for his high performance podcast on the day it got announced. He'll probably come to Leeds, and then on there he talks about how he's good. He hasn't had a conversation with Thomas Tuchel for England, but he's going to put himself in front of him really in terms of his performances on pitch, and he still thinks he can play for England. Which I know we heard Patrick Bamford say that in the last season, which we all sort of laughed at and did not think that was possible. I sort of seen something DCL there when he was saying it there. I think he firmly believes he can. And I think it's all about this. This is where anyone who doubts Farke, this is a great transfer and a great player to sort of measure that against, because we know he's a top player. We know he's got injury history, which we think Farke can probably, micromanage him through less minutes, hopefully. But if he can get a tune out of DCL and he can get anywhere around 10 goals and 25, 30 games this season, I'm going to give Farke a massive pat on back for that, because this is a signing that people would rule out, just like the Sam Byram signing got ruled out 24 months ago, and he smashed it with that one, and there's no saying he won't smash it with this one, because DCL as a striker is a more talented striker than what Byram is a fullback. And look how good Byram's done at fullback, and he wouldn't have come to Leeds if it weren't for having Farke. So you've got to give him his flowers when it's due, and don't get me wrong, if we get his arse handed to us on Monday, and Farke's done something to sort of not, for that to be the result, I'll come on here and I'll call it out. But if he does well with DCL, he gets a pat on the back for this one for me, because it's for me, you can't lose with this signing. For me, it's with it being no fee, it comes in and it's great competition up there. Now I know we need another one potentially, and we'll get into that later.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Do we? If I'm honest,
I don't think. Well, we'll get into presser, but it looks like he wants one, but it's to the bottom of the list now, lads, isn't it? Fullback.
I don't get it. I don't understand.
I don't get it. You can't stockpile players. You can't stockpile players. I think
which one, say one right back. You want 3 right backs, 3 left backs, 7 or 8 centre backs. That's not what.
You know what it is, Adam, though? I think if you have 3 fully fit strikers that with no injury worries, just say they haven't got the history that 2 of them have got.
Exactly.
I think you're happy with that. I think the fact that 2 of them have question marks means he wants that insurance policy of another one. But it is because you run the risk, don't you, Adam? If none of them have an injury worry, then how do you keep them happy as well? So that's where Farke has to earn his money. He said today he doesn't like a big squad, but he needs
that's where it's ridiculous. Like, well, don't buy injury-prone players then. We can't just keep stacking them up. Like,
I get what you mean.
They might all be injured.
Yeah.
Everyone can say that, but everyone obviously, injury. Bornell's got a bad injury record.
Yeah.
But he's the 4th centre
Do
back.
you think the Calvert-Lewin were too good to turn down because they were free?
Yeah,
we wouldn't have paid money for him, would we?
No. He would have been a bit of a sign. I don't think there'd be anything massive in their wages or sign-on fees. I don't think. I don't think.
Yeah, no,
I don't think so. I say it's amazing to me, this whole 4th striker thing. It makes no sense. 3 aren't enough, even if a couple are a little bit injury prone, then you've got real problems. Because also, by the way, your 4 up there, Nonto can be a 4th choice striker. I know it's not a great option, but you can't just keep, because otherwise what you buy, are you going to buy a 4th choice? Or are you going to buy a 3rd choice or a 2nd choice? Or are you going to buy a 1st choice and bump them all down the list?
Well, so it looks like, well, I don't think it looks like, but the fans would argue that you need a 1st choice. The fans would love, let's be fair, everything I read, the fans would still love a Muniz level signing, but I just don't see that happening. I can see maybe
that is the only route. Absolutely.
I think it's another one to replace Joseph. And if Joseph would have still been here and he wanted to be here, I think he'd be in and around. Farke would have kept him as the 4th choice.
And isn't that clear why Joseph wanted to go then? If you go, you can stay a big 4th choice for one spot. 100%. Oh, great. Cheers, Daniel. Now I'd rather piss off, please. Oh, okay, you bad boy. Off you go. Yeah. And then you go out, you're in the press. Yeah, because you won't train. Of course you won't train. Everyone's leaving. He wasn't going to play anyway. No,
I get that. Anyway, it's quicker. We've got 185 people watching. Unbelievable. Wow. Thank you. Can we please get a few more likes? Wrap those likes up. We're on 66 likes. Please get a few more likes up there. Thank you so much for your support. Great numbers, that. Thank you very much. Tonight is the 2nd best show of the 1st match weekend. Leeds winning the best. Too right. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, hat-trick and 3 assists from Crap Addison. I've seen a lot of people say this. Imagine he comes on and we get an assist from Jack Addison. I think it's a bit of a pipe dream, but yeah, we're there for it anyway. But so moving into the presser, I was dead excited for press conference today, lads, more than I probably ever have been for a press conference. The fact that we got to listen to it come from the horse's mouth rather than us silly YouTubers and people clutching at straws trying to get news. It was nice that Farke spoke, and he speaks quite openly. If he isn't happy, he puts it out in the ether, doesn't he? He lets the board know what he wants and stuff. He doesn't hold much back. He waffles on a little bit like me, don't get me wrong, but I enjoyed it. But yeah, Sean, you've made a few notes. What do you want to touch on first? Because I feel like there's quite a bit in there today.
Yeah, he started off obviously happy that we've got a few more days to prepare. Where the others are playing, obviously tonight and tomorrow. Mentioned obviously Dominic Calvert-Lewin that he was going to be signing, and then they announced it, didn't they, straight after the presser. He did talk about Calvert-Lewin. He did actually contradict himself though, because he said he wanted, we're looking at players who are up and coming and not on the way down. But then obviously talked about Calvert-Lewin and said, well, he's here, he wants to revive his career. And I thought, well, why have we signed him then? Because you've just said you don't want players who are on the way down in the career, which he was, and you've got to say he has been for a past few seasons now, Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah.
Then talked about Harrison. I mean, obviously he was going to be asked about Jack Harrison, and I knew what he were going to say. Proven Premier League player, good age, works hard. Did mention Harrison. I know when Brendan Harrison came back, and that how he would, he had to earn the fan. He had to win the fans back again, and that's what Jack Harrison's going to have to do. Apparently the players have welcomed him back into the squad. It's a good group that they're going to do out there, but it is up to Jack Harrison now to win the fans back. As much as I know a lot of us don't want him in and around, it does sound like he's going to be, unless we do get another left winger in and a good offer comes in for Jack Harrison, I can't see him leaving.
Yeah, I agree.
Did you hear about the team news with Bogle? So
Yeah.
Bogle, he's back in team training now since Wednesday. They're gonna obviously monitor him over the weekend and see how his body reacts. But like he did say, Bogle looked and in the friendlies he looked fit anyway. He was at a good level fitness wise. So it sounds promising for Bogle to be available and probably starting come Monday night.
If that had been like you say, if we'd have been playing tomorrow, mate, no chance. So the fact that fixture's on Monday night, it's massive, and I'm sure you'll agree, Adam, on the Bogle situation. Whatever we haven't got, which we'll get on to soon, maybe adjusting or a better backup option. Schmidt playing at fullback on Monday is the worst possible outcome. Byron playing at fullback is a bit patched up. Bogle playing at fullback with 4 days training under his belt is the whole dynamic changes, Adam, of that team. Whole dynamic.
Well, Bogle's one of the best players on the side. He's quick. He's football IQ again. He's really intelligent. He knows where he needs to be, attacking and defensively. His positioning is really good as a result. And he's really secure on the ball. Assists, getting forward defensively. I think there's such a drop off, obviously, to Schmidt, who has no football IQ whatsoever, as far as I've seen, just chases after the ball endlessly. Physically, Schmidt's really good. Like he's strong, he's quick, but his decision making is horrible. Byram is really good defensively, really solid. I'd have no problem with Byram defensively, particularly.
Yeah,
but again, he's not offering an outlet going forward in any way, shape, or form.
And this is a game we need to go for, Adam.
And he hasn't got the legs to get up and down. I think it's really important in this game. You can go high octane, higher pressing, all into them, all over the pitch. I think that's really, really important. Get the crowd into it as much as possible and rattle their cages a little bit. I think it's crucial we do that. And you have the right players to do that. Bogle helps because you can get around the pitch. Byram's okay. But yeah, I think, I say, if he's getting forward, he's taking a little bit longer to get back. His crossing's not amazing. So I'm not worried about Byram defensively, but the drop off for them too, and I was about Justin a second ago. I think there's a massive drop off to Justin as well, by the way. I think Bogle and Gudmundsson, the fullbacks, are very, very similar. I think they're both athletes.
Yeah,
I think that's crucial to what we do, especially with the free squeezing in the middle. I know they'll sort of come out and help a bit, but I think them two are fullback. I'm really confident as if we can keep them both fit and firing for as long as possible. Yeah. I'm confident what we got there.
If you're playing a Byram at right back, you're changing the system slightly. You're changing your style slightly, aren't you? Byram can't bomb forward like Bogle can, like you said. So hopefully, I was surprised he wasn't asked about obviously the James Justin link, which we will get into. I thought one of the one of the guys would have asked him about that, but they didn't know. He did mention we need another fullback, like we all know, and obviously strengthen offensively. So I think we're all on the same page there. But he did say that obviously we need to be careful in what we spend. Obviously, there's PSR. So
it's funny, isn't it? Like we were bidding nearly 40 million for Newman or 35 for Muniz. We were bidding 30 for Paksha. Now we've got to be careful when a free striker's just coming. Like don't just have us on about everything. We're all adults. We've got our own minds. Like we can work out what's going on. You're either buying players or you're not. Like come on.
I think that was a bit of a smoke screen because, like you say, we'd begged 30 plus million for Pajau. So the money is there. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been.
Well, yeah. Like PSR, we want a fourth striker. Oh yeah, you know, like, do we? Oh, great. That's where we need to spend the money.
But I don't think it'll be a £30 million striker now.
I mean, but still, no, of course, I'm being a bit flippant, but of course, his wages still is probably 5, 6, 7, 8 million. You know, it doesn't make it. It just doesn't make. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, look at Justin. Justin's a real disappointment to me. I think as level player we're looking for.
Wild, that mate. Wild.
No, it's not wild. It's wild. Right. I know you called me wild the other day, and I bit on that in the group. But
wild, man.
Again now.
He ain't as good as what you're making out, though.
Yeah, listen to this.
I agree with Adam a little bit.
Now, listen to this, right? Right. Let's go back 12 months before we signed Bogle. Bogle's just been relegated. Who would you have rather signed 12 months ago? Justin or Bogle? Bearing in mind where... Well, you will say that now. Bogle's class. Bogle's absolutely mint. First choice. But going back 12 months ago, before Bogle kicked him off for Leeds United, I don't think Leeds fans would. James Justin had a better reputation than Bogle. Yeah, but you wouldn't have done.
Yeah, no, he did have a better reputation, absolutely.
He had a better reputation, whereas now Bogle smashed it in champ. We don't know if he can make that step up. I would argue he can. I think he's going to be put. Honestly, I think in 12 months' time there'll be murmurs of England for Bogle. I think it'll be that good. Honestly, I think it'll be that good. But that all depends how good Leeds do. Because if we're down bottom end, he won't get sniffed, will he? But I think it's wild to suggest he's a poor signing as backup.
He is
28 years of age, backup. Why is that poor?
They're not buying me.
He's not as good as Bogle. He's not as good as Bogle.
No, he's nowhere near as good as Bogle now, mate. No,
he's more better defensively than he is going forward.
But lads, Bogle couldn't play left back. James Justin can. So
no, I want two fullbacks.
On James Justin, he's got great recovery speed. He's a fast player. He's got great recovery speed.
He reminds me of me, like in that regard. Really
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
What are you smirking for, you bastards?
What?
What's
happening?
This tash weighs me down.
We're live.
I use this tash as like an anchor to weigh me down because if this went to be here everywhere, my ADHD won't be able to sit down. So this tash anchors me down.
My thing with Justin, right? So I think in the promotion, the Leicester season, Leicester won the championship. I think he got, I can't remember, 2 assists, I believe, maybe 4. Next to none. Going forward, he's not great. And then defensively, overall, most of the time he's okay, but he has lapses where he just sort of switches off. And I just think we can do better. I think it's such an obvious signing and just an easy signing. So all of the analytics before the window, it's all about analytics. We're going to do everything on stats and stuff. We've completely gone away from that. We just have. And I think Justin's just like, it's a little bit desperate at the end of a window. Just, that guy can play right. Because he can play right and left, he'll do. Well, no,
and because he's been linked before.
But who do you get who's a top player, right, to come in when they know they're going to be second?
There must be loads of European right-backs that we could get in from different leagues.
People do this, right? My job is not every day to work in a scouting department for Leeds United. Ask them. Like, they're the ones that get paid to do this. Go and
they have, and they've identified James Justin as the best option.
We all, I mean,
exactly. I can go on Football Manager and pick a better right back right now. I'll go
close the road. Whatever the road, the bloke, he go, James Justin.
Honestly,
okay.
Help me out, chat. This is wild. We've never had this on this show. This is wild.
I don't understand how this is wild. I think you're the wild one.
I don't see the hype in him.
Yeah,
well, I think he's a disappointing signing. Like, I can't see. I think it's just like, I know we don't need amazing. I know we need 17th, all that sort of stuff. It's like Calvert-Lewin, right? If he's only going to score 10 goals this season, he's done well. We don't expect miracles of these players. We don't have to. But what we do need is levels. And if Bo's out for 6 games, we need a decent backup that's going to cover the 6 games. I just don't think Justin's it. And you go, and we're just getting him because he can cover right and left back. He's so obvious that it's not the right signing. I know that's a stupid thing to say. If obvious should be the right signing, it's just not.
Do you get sick of saying, well, yeah, he'd be a good squad player. He'll get to be a good squad player. No, I want a player who's going to come in and actually, be some competition for Bogle at that right back.
But Justin will feel that. Justin will feel like he is.
Will he be wrong?
He'll feel like he is. 28, played for England.
Yeah,
won an FA Cup, played in Premier League all his career bar, one season at Leicester, where the one league. He will 100% believe, just like they should do, just like every player should. Every player should believe that. Bornau should be believing he's going to be a centre half for Leeds United and starting. That's what you want from all your players. That's on the player. That's on their personality, their beliefs, what they want to do. And I don't think James Justin's going to come and go, oh yeah, that player that's played 1 year in Premier League at Sheffield United, he's way better than me. He's going to think like that. He's going to push Bogle, and Bogle will feel it. I don't care what you say. James Justin is a decent competition for Bogle. He is. He is.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a good squad option.
Oh man, he is good squad option, but maybe he gives more.
We can agree to disagree. I just want a little bit better, and I don't think it's about even spending more money. I think there's better value out there to make more sense if you just look a little bit deeper. That's what it feels like to me.
That's fair enough. What else come up in that press conference that I'm going to make me want to chin you?
We're asked about obviously the Everton game. Some silly questions, really, but obviously what we're expecting, from the game. What we, obviously going into. Obviously, we're going to go in to try and win it. They don't want to think too much about points at this stage. It's the first game of the season. Obviously, he's trying to obviously take the pressure off already. There don't need to be any pressure. Go in there, enjoy yourself. Play to the occasion. Obviously, points are important. Your home games are important. Picking up, you've got to pick up points at home if you want to stay up in this league. He said, I mentioned about making Ellen Road a fortress. It's important especially for a newly promoted team to try and do that. Fan expectation, obviously, don't be expecting too much. I think if we know where we are as a club right now, we're going to be in a battle. If we can finish mid-table, that'd be a great season. So we've got to just curb his expectations a little bit. Also,
keep going. I'm just
mentioned about. So we talked about the squad. So he was asked about another striker. Adam, are you listening?
I'm listening.
And he did say he didn't want a too big a squad. Obviously, he said he's got 3 strikers plus Harry Gray, but he don't want to put too much pressure on Harry Gray right now. Obviously, he's a young lad coming through. Yeah. But he said he wouldn't rule it out. Obviously, they know about the injury issues with Calvert-Lewin and Nemecha. Mentioned obviously they need more quality up top. Talked about obviously losing Solomon, which is obviously a quality player that we are missing. So again, on the same page as us, do want that X factor up there. And they're trying to build the best possible squad to get the points they need to stay in the Premier League. So he did say he's very optimistic. He's very confident that they're going to get a new winger in. But obviously, business will get done when it gets done. He was asked then about obviously with obviously the last 6 teams to be promoted and then obviously get relegated, how he's sort of going to try and change that. And he just said, and he's right, everything's got to be spot on. Your squad build's got to be spot on. Consistent performances as well. We can't be hit and miss with performances. It's got to be. We've got to have that some sort of consistency, especially 4 or 5 game consistency. But like you said, there's no blueprint. It's football's football, and I think he said he don't want to talk the talk. He wants to walk the walk, and the Premier League's the toughest in the world. So,
which he knows well. Very well.
Just on that, someone said everything you said about Justin said about Firpo 2 years ago. I would have said about Firpo in the Premier League as well. Firpo would have been rubbish in the Premier League. Like he would have been walked past by every winger. 1-on-1 defensively, Firpo is terrible. He was still terrible in Championship. We just controlled the ball so often. There you go.
But we're starting it negatively, isn't it? Quickly, anyway. I just want to. I am starving some chats for later for a segment at the end. Starred chat, but I'm just going to bring this up by Kershaw. Thanks so much for your super chat, buddy. Really appreciate that, Kershaw. You are focusing too much on attacking for me with the fullbacks. For the majority of games this season, our fullbacks will be defending, not attacking. We will be aiming to be solid and hard to be. Yeah, I agree with that. I do think there'll be certain games, like maybe in Everton at home, where they will give a bit more license to push while still trying to be a bit pragmatic. But I do think some games, this is where I want to see that adaptation from Farke. I don't want to just shut up shop every game. I don't want to just attack every game. Game by game, there needs to be a little bit of movement in tactics and players and style. And Everton at home may not be a game we can win. I think we can, but who knows? We'll see. Everton are a lot better than they have been for the last few years. But this is a game we should be targeting to win. So why not give it a bit more? And I think where Byram tucks in and probably does okay against maybe a Grealish, maybe nullifies that winger, whoever plays out left. I would like Bogle to play and give us a bit more going forward, though, lads. But yeah, great comment, Kershaw. To be fair, I sort of agree.
Bogle is good at both, though. He's been good defensively as Bogle.
At Prem level, though, is he as good? I think Prem level will be still sound going forward.
I liked what I saw him in pre-season. I thought he looked solid in pre-season, Bogle as well.
Mate, he's been. I thought he started at Leeds United a little bit shaky first 4 or 5 games. Since then, not a negative comment. Since he's been outstanding. You're right, in pre-season, looks to have carried on as a few of them do, mate. I quite liked from the presser as well. I don't want to go into it too much. I know he waffled on about it quite a bit about the whole Norwich saga. But we're quite interested how he really stuck the boot in at Norwich. And, we've all said, looking from the outside in, going, he never got given a chance at Norwich, didn't get the money. I was quite surprised. It's been a while now since he's been there. I was quite surprised him to sort of, come out and say it as open as he did. And basically said that the club and the owners, looked at it and said, we could maybe sign another striker, but, we think we're going down anyway. So we may as well, not spend that 10, 15 million to go into a season sort of expecting to go down, hoping for a miracle. What I quite liked with that, as I was very surprised he spoke like that, but I really enjoyed hearing him talk about the loyalty he feels as a manager and as a bloke, and the fact that they give him his chance in English football. So even though he knew it was going to be highly likely that they got relegated, they didn't stand a chance, I like how he still give it a go, knowing that it would affect his CV, that it would tarnish his name, which it has done, because all the talk's been about, he's doing well at Leeds United, top at league in Championship, but what's he going to be like in Premier League? And we're like, well, we're only 12 games into a Championship. Let's just see how we're doing or whatever. It's literally, as soon as Leeds United were doing well over the last 2 years, it's been there straight away. Streams, discussions in pub. Everyone's talking about that tag that he's got for attempting to do something out of loyalty. So I think that showed me that, we've got a good bloke there. We've got a guy there that has good values. And I just sort of wanted to bring that up because that follows him around relegation. He didn't do it at Norwich. And to hear him speak, he's going to try and deflect it to make himself look a bit better, as we all would. I quite enjoyed that part of the press conference. Another bit you fast forwarded, Sean, because you couldn't be asked. Look at it.
I was actually rewinding it. So I could take notes on it.
But I think it shows a bit more about the person, lads. I quite enjoyed that part. I don't know if you did.
I actually, once he started talking about Norwich, I thought, I've heard this before, so I just back. But that would basically it. He talked about obviously being at Leeds United, and he's the main aim was to get Leeds back in the Premier League. Now the main aim is to establish us as a Premier League club, and that's what he's focused on now going forward. And we're not getting too far ahead of ourselves. We know that's what we need. The main aim is now just to stay up this season. So it was a good press conference. I quite enjoyed it. I sometimes switch off when he's going off on one, but I enjoyed this one.
I think the thing is with the comments on Norwich, as you say, Sean, I think I've heard him saying along those lines once before, I think, but. I take it all with a little bit of a pinch of salt. It's fine saying I should have jumped ship and I had loads of other offers, like, okay, yeah, fine, maybe not. But ultimately, by the way, right now, I think he's a better manager. I think he's certainly been backed, and I think he can keep us up. I've got confidence in him as a manager. I think he does talk very well. I think the players do respect him. And I really see how he gets on. And I hope it's obviously, as a Leeds United fan, I hope it's a massive success. I think it can be.
We had his doubts, Adam. We've had his doubts about Farke. A lot of fans have. But I actually, since pre-season and through pre-season and the players we've signed, and I have grown in confidence. But the proof's in the pudding, and once games start, then this. It could all change, it could all change if results don't come in soon. But I'm happy. I'm happy with him at the minute.
It will run hot and cold very, very, very quickly. When if we lose against Everton, everyone's then going to be doom and gloom looking at Arsenal and Newcastle. And then international break, no points. Everything go downhill very quickly. But. I don't think we'll lose against Everton, actually. And I say, and what I've been impressed by in pre-season is actually the setup and how quickly the guys have grasped 4-3-3 as well. And that's testament to him and his coaches, how quickly he's trained that into them, positionally, etc. Like that, when it comes together defensively, that block looks very, very solid, really, really solid. So. It does. And I think and the recruitment team so far, in terms of what they've got in midfield and centre back, deserve praise because they've done really well. like exceptionally well. I think that 5-man midfield we've got, which of course 5, five into 3, but we need 5 for a forward position as well, obviously. But yeah, five
why do we need 5
midfielders?
midfielders? Come on, why do we need 5 midfielders, Adam?
Yeah, no, 5 into 3 is fine. We leave. Yeah. Anyway, it irks me that. Yeah, I think, and I say the courses approach we can have. I think Snacker starts Monday, for example. But I think Longstaff starts against Arsenal, who's a bit more defensive minded, a bit more better in the duels, etc. I think Stack and Ampady will start every single game as many as he can, get out of them, and then it'll be a bit of a rotation otherwise, and Gruev late on. But there's lots of options there as well.
It's nice. It's just one game a week. Do you think?
No, it's shit.
I know, but it's nice for the squad to get. We get a decent
100%. There's a time to reset, get back on the training pitch. Yeah. Every time a player comes in, there's lots of time to integrate them into the tactics and everything else. Exactly that.
Yeah,
it's so different from the Championship, isn't it? Like 2 games a week. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right. Well, the only real rumour to sort of talk about now, then, lads. Now you've rinsed James Justin, is our Okafor. So I went on Joe's stream a couple of nights ago, and I sort of, after looking at him a little bit before I went live, I was like, yeah, I quite like the look of him. And then went off the boil on him and thought, I'm not too sure, I read a bit more about him. I weren't too keen. And then I saw price tag come out today of around 10 million euros. And then I sort of don't mind it again. But
didn't they reject 15 million euros? I've read that somewhere.
From Bologna. Apparently so.
They rejected 15 million euros. They want around 20.
There's conflicting reports, isn't there? I've seen 10 million euros is they won't accept less than 10 million euros. So does that mean they'll accept 10? I don't know. They won't accept less, but I don't think it's going to be, in terms of a financial package, a massive deal for Leeds United. He looked like he had massive promise when he was at Leipzig. I think his transfer sort of marked value were at about 25 million. It's dropped down. I feel like he's on the decline, but he's 25. He's played for some big clubs, but does that mean, coming to Leeds is going to resurrect his career? Maybe. But as you know, I'm a big Ramazani fan. I'm a big Nonto fan. Is he better than what we've currently got? Some will say he is. I'm just asking a question. I didn't think you'd say what, to be honest.
This is why Daniel Farke's contradicted himself. He just said in the presser that they don't want to be signing players that are on the decline but are on the up. But we seem to be. We've took players like Nemecha who have declined in the career. Not saying he's a bad player, and now we're looking at another guy who's struggled past few seasons. Okay. 3 seasons ago, he was touted just to be, a big thing, but he's done nothing, and he doesn't excite me at all. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I haven't seen him play, but looking at what I have seen, he's no better than a Ramazani or a Willy Nonto. I don't think.
I think the only thing he's got is he's more Ramazani-esque in terms of he's very attacking, and he'll if he gets the ball, he's very direct. He'll lose the ball, but he's everything Farke doesn't like in a Ramazani as well. He'll lose the ball more often. He'll try things. I don't think Farke's against that. Obviously, in Ruter, for example, but I think he's not defensively. He doesn't really try to get involved in that at all. I mean, I'd be surprised if, again, going for a pack shout to him is such a drop off. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So I don't know. Like, it may just still be. I mean, there's obviously been a bit from certain.
Did you watch my video I did on him with his injuries as well?
Yes,
mate. Honestly, if you go, obviously, I want people to subscribe to Wilco White. Sean on my right is looking at the screen. Right, his link's in chat. Go follow Sean. But he did a video talking about Okafor, right? And we're reading out his injuries, right? And when he said the word "too fake," because I don't think he expected to see it, and he read it out, and his face, it was about the best 10 seconds I'd seen in a while, which shows I've got a bit of a sheltered life. But when he read "too fake," I act like it. When I get too fake, I'm done. Me, shut up shop. I am out of work and I'm laid at home rolling.
Have a bit of whiskey on it. You'll be fine, lad. Get a bit of whiskey on it.
When I saw your face, I've had in stitches, lad. So it's worth checking out. Wilco White's just for Okafor video.
When I was going through the list, and it were like stub toe and little silly little, and I'm just thinking, is this guy one of these players who just make any excuse not to play? You know,
maybe. Sometimes, lads, it's the hunger of the player. So I look at a DCL now and I'm thinking he's saying the right stuff. I want to see that hunger from him. And I think with his attributes, if he has that hunger and drive to succeed, I think he'll do it. You look at someone like Okafor, he's on the decline. The only way to get out of that hole is to get yourself out. You know, it's like he's slipping in. Has he got that fight? You're sort of leaning into it that he probably hasn't, but
he will look it. He went to Napoli because he was struggling at AC Milan. He went to Napoli and he ended up getting himself a winner's medal, you know, and he played about 580 minutes.
But look at the players that Napoli have. I saw a video. I know. They have some good players, mate. So do Milan.
I know, but it just seemed the past 2 or 3 seasons, don't matter where he's been, he's not. The managers haven't fancied him. There's something in that for me. And is it silly little things like can't train because of, I don't know,
too fake.
broke my little finger or something. I don't know. You know, it's little things like that. It's alarm bells ringing for me.
Go on.
He's clearly, you know, like he's clearly really talented, isn't he? Like he's ceiling talent. He's Milan, Napoli, clubs like that wanting you. Even last season, his ceiling talent's clearly very high, but obviously he's not delivering it very regularly. So you're buying a player that you hope you can change his pattern and his training or his attitude or whatever the issue has been for a while now, and it's just like. But that player, that winger that comes in, unless we buy 2, has got to lift the quality of what we've got. He's got to. I don't think he's the man for that, personally.
Do you think he sort of just mixes it with similar level we've already got? Yeah. You don't think he's that next bracket up then? No?
Yeah, I think he's different. I think his profile's slightly different. He offers something different because he's very direct. But I can see Falk not liking him when he gets in, to be honest, as well.
No, I agree. I totally agree. He did so well at RB Salzburg. You know, his numbers for RB Salzburg were fantastic, and that's what got him the move to AC Milan. And then it's just declined. And again, you know, we can't say one thing, and then we're looking at players who are actually on the decline, and we're getting them on the cheap, who are, you know, you sort of gambling again, like you know.
By the way. By the way, it's a bit the same as El Canous, right? So talk about, a few people, like I think Berram mentioned him, but the journalists are struggling. They're just mentioning names they can see, because they're not getting much at the moment. But they mention players like him, and they say, but Leeds haven't bid. And we haven't agreed any contract with him. I think he's just so quiet. Leeds are still, I think they're keeping the powder dry still at the moment. I think, and I said in the group the other day, we'll start still by a couple of players we've not even been linked with yet. That's my take on it. I think last 2 weeks, dominoes fall all over the place. Some values go up because teams really want them, but a lot of values go down because teams want to get rid of players. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think we'll get. So I think the discussion's fine, but I don't think he'll be the profile or the player we get.
No, I have to agree. We'll have to see how we go on that, but we'll move on from rumours. So, lads, I had a bit of an idea today, didn't I, that just sprang to me.
Oh.
So, I wanted to put in a new little segment, which I thought would be quite fun. There's 219 people in, honestly, we are blown away with the support. This Friday night show now, Late Night Leeds, it's been building nicely through off-season. You know, the shows now, they're going to get bigger and better every week. We're thinking new ideas to make it entertaining. Thanks so much. It's 120 likes. Can we get that up to 200 by the end of the show? I'd love that. 221 now. Please smash a like. Please subscribe if you're new here. And obviously, please check out Wilco Whites as well. He's on the road to 700, which is brilliant. So, today, I had a bit of an idea. We have a massive, massive Leeds fan that some of you might know called Mr. Whitesnake. And he lives the other side of the world to us. And he watches all us YouTubers, content creators, just blokes talking about Leeds United, trying the best with horrible mustaches. Talk about Leeds United. Or woolen shirts. There you go. I'll bring you into it.
Oh, woolen shirts. Tank tops.
So I thought it'd be nice to sort of bring him in on the act and give him a little segment of this show, and we'll see how it goes going forward. Something nice, just a little minute clip. But let's see what you think to this as a little new segment for the show. Over to you, Mr. Whitesnake.
Mr. Whitesnake writes poetry from New Zealand.
My name is Mr. Whitesnake. As most of you would know, here I am stuck on a late night Friday show. Leeds have always given us some worry and some strife. As a Leeds fan, you would know that has been my life. Here we are standing. A channel challenge now awaits. Monday night at Ellen Row. You and me and mates. We are Leeds United, marching on as one. Monday night at Ellen Road, beating Everton. From the days of Reevy's glory to Bielsa's famous seat, we are Leeds United. The world is at our feet. From the highs of promotion to the lows of the drop, we will keep singing loudly and we'll never stop. We are Leeds United. We are marching on as one. On Monday night at Ellen Road, we're beating Everton.
Mr. Whitesnake writes, poetry from New Zealand.
Come on, Mr. Whitesnake. Well done, my mate. Well done. Little backstory to that, right? I come up with that idea out of nowhere today. Asked him, I think what was 11 o'clock last night, his time. So he had about an hour to dwell on it before going to bed. And then he'd have had about an hour to work on it when he woke up before this started. He went to bed, had an hour, couldn't sleep, and then spent all night coming up with ideas for a poem.
Matt had him up 22 hours doing that.
Bless him. He hadn't slept. And yeah, we absolutely love him in this scene. He's a class guy. And I just thought it'd be really nice to give Steve a little segment of this. And each week he's going to come up with a little bit of a poem to tie in with a week's news. Hopefully it can make a 5-0 poem rhyme or something about what we absolutely battered Everton on Monday. You're welcome, Mr. Whitesnake. I hope you enjoyed doing it. Get to bed. You must be knackered. But I thought what a nice little segment to throw in there to break the show up. And I don't think anyone will begrudge Steve 60 seconds on here. I know he probably deserves more.
It, then just whatever.
Exactly. But no, I'm glad you decided to do it, mate. And yeah, just something fun to break up the. Honestly, my mind, I'm there working away, and I don't know why. I'm just thinking of Mr. Whitesnake. The next thing I'm like, boom, let me phone this guy from New Zealand and put this to him, and that's how it worked. But yeah,
when you first said it, I was like, what? Steve Whitesnake's gonna do a poem?
you were blagged, mate. You were proper blagged. You really were. You were like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. Why does that sound so like unusual? And you're like,
you'd be really good at those, Matty. You'd be great at poems. You've got that.
Well, I don't need to.
You're great with words, aren't you? You're great with words.
I don't need to. I've got Stevie.
You don't, Stevie now.
Yeah, but yeah, big up, Mr. Whitesnake. You absolute legend. And I just want to shout out his wife, Karen, as well. She's got a YouTube channel. I haven't got the link, unfortunately, but she's got a YouTube channel with a little woof woof, and she just hit 1,000 subscribers today. So, like Steve said to me, who knew so many people want to watch a dog sleep? But she got 1,000 subscribers doing it. So,
wow,
it is what it is. Yeah, I know, Adam. But yeah, great. But congratulations to Karen.
I'll try and find it.
Yeah, she has got a channel with a little woof woof. So yeah, well done on 1,000 subscribers, Karen. I've been striving for it. And thanks again, Mr. Whitesnake.
What happens on that channel? Hang on, what does she do on that channel?
I think the dogs sleep, and it's like peaceful music for dogs, and people tune in.
I've seen that. We put that on for our dogs sometimes. Yeah, you get loads of views. Yeah. That's the future.
That's why we've got you on, Adam, because dogs does really well.
I've put his link in there.
Have you put it in?
I just can't. I haven't got.
Right, so it's okay. We've got Mr. Whitesnake's channel here, and his link will be in the description.
Good guy, Steve.
So yeah, he's a great guy. So moving on, we are going to look at, as Steve would say, Everton. Fucking good, Adam, innit? Right, and before we dive into it, I've just got to hand over to the main man, because he's got a few stats. Stat man, Sean, what have you got for us today? Stat man.
Just a few stats, nothing too deep. I've missed that, haven't we? Okay.
Oh, we love it on here. We're absolute lunatics. Lunatics running the asylum.
Okay,
I've got 5 kids. How's that work?
You done?
No, go on.
So Everton haven't lost against Leeds in the last 5 outings. They've actually won 3 and drawn 2. Head to head, Daniel Farke and David Moyes only actually met once. That was back in 2019, 2020. Unfortunately, that was when Moyes was at West Ham and Farke at Norwich, and West Ham ran out 4-0 winners. Although that was a bit of negativity. Positively is though, Everton have lost the last 3 opening day fixtures. Brighton 3-0, Fulham 1-0, Chelsea 1-0. They've only actually won 3 in the last 10 opening games in the Premier League. And this is actually their first away fixture in 5 seasons for Everton as well. They've always been drawn at home.
Ooh.
So interesting. A few little stats there for you.
Very interesting, mate.
Very.
Listen to you read the bloody dictionary, I could. It's a stat man's world and we're just living in it. But yeah, the fact that they haven't won, they don't usually win that first game of the season.
Yeah, it's a bit of a hoodoo for them at the minute.
Yeah.
Last
do you,
3.
Do you lads, just off top, do you ever believe in hoodoos? Do you ever think there's something in them? Because remember, like when we had hoodoos, we couldn't win in London and we couldn't win. It feels like the longer it goes on, it actually becomes a thing, but it shouldn't be, should it, lads? It shouldn't be.
It becomes more of a mental thing, doesn't it? It's more mental than a real hoodoo. You know, you're not really cursed, but
there it is.
There it is. Yeah, it's more a mental thing, isn't it? For me, I think I don't believe in all that. You know, what is it? Walking across grates and things like that, and under signs and stuff like that. Under ladders. Oh, is he one of those that hops over grates and things like that?
Mate, we were walking under the tunnel to get to Ellen Road, and the train went over the top, and nearly had a chuffing heart attack. He went, "Whoa!" I was like, he just walked under it, like, you know.
Who's that?
It's Priestley. He's
Priestley?
well bad, mate. He's well bad.
Oh, I couldn't care less about any
But
of
walk
that.
on cracks and that on pit. Oh, he's well weird, is Priestley, mate. But he'll, yeah.
I walk under 10 ladders and
10 ladders. When's he have 10 ladders lined up?
Well,
ladders.
Window cleaning contest or something. I don't know.
Oh, I ain't going there. If there'd have been 9, I'd have give it a go. But fucking,
you've never been to a window cleaning contest, Matt? They're brilliant.
I haven't, mate. No, I probably should do. Like,
sponges and buckets everywhere. It's fantastic.
Class. But yeah, Everton. So the preview. How are you feeling, Adam, going into it? They brought a few decent players in, which I would assume they've had enough time to bed in. So not the Everton of old. It's Everton on paper. The fixtures for Leeds United at Ellen Road, it's one we should be targeting to win, as I said earlier. But they are a decent side. And under Moyes, I think sometimes a manager and a side sort of fit. And I think the fact Moyes is there, you're going to see an upturn of trajectory for Everton. And I think it'll be a tough game, although our backers to win, mate.
Definitely a tough game. Definitely a tough game. Definitely a tight game. Moyes being there. Moyes is a very good manager. Like Premiership, he's really good at setting teams up. Very pragmatic. And they've brought a few players in. I think Dewsbury Hall will start. I think Grealish won't. But they've got enough. But you look at their team on paper, and they are there to be got at, though. I mean, it's definitely. I mean, there's still a Premiership side, so there's nothing easy about it. But they're definitely one of the games we need to target, obviously, because it's not a top 6, top 8 side. So every game, well, obviously you got to target every game, but it's one. As I say, I think Spurs won 6 home games last season and got 38 points in total. So, you know, if you can, I think Ipswich and Southampton only won one home game each last season. So if, you know, winning one, you're ahead of them or up to them already. So it's a massive game. And I think it's a perfect first night, Monday night, perfect game to get into, perfect opposition to get into as well, I think. That's what it feels like, because they are there to be got at just because of the level.
Yeah. The fact it's a Monday night, it sort of plays in our favour a little bit more than it would be if it were a Saturday fixture for me. It shouldn't, but I just feel like I've had all weekend to sort of wait on it. You know what Leeds fans are going to bring? They're going to. Yeah, it is an occasion. It's my favourite time to watch Leeds under lights at Ellen Road. Don't think anyone does it better. Do you think the lads will be under pressure? Do you think Farke will feel pressure? Because this game, everybody's sort of looking at it, lads. Like, I've actually heard people say it's a must-win, and I don't think it's a must-win in terms of not getting relegated. I think it feels like a must-win for maybe Farke, because some people talk about him only having 5, 6, 7 games if it's going wrong. And the first 3, if we lose against Everton, there's a potential we're getting on. Potential. I honestly, I can see us picking up maybe 4 points at least out of these 3 games. I'd be happy with that, and I think everyone would bite your hand off for that currently. Yeah. But there's a real chance that if we did get a negative result on Monday, that we might not get none. So this is a massive game for Farke.
Yeah, that's what it's. That's why it is. You know, a game where we need to get at least 1 point. We need some points basically, because you look at the fixtures after, and on paper you're thinking we're not getting many points there. Obviously, football's football, you know, and it could go. We could end up beating Arsenal, as dastardly as it sounds. But this game for me. It would be nice just for the squad, you know, to settle the lads down as well, to get a win. I'm not that worried about Everton. You know, obviously you just said there they've signed some good players in Dewsbury Town Hall, as some people say. Grealish, who has he played a pre-season friendly at Grealish? I'm not sure. Has he played anything now? I mean, there's talk from the Everton side that he's actually going to start in the central, in more of a central area, in like a 10 position, just to give him that more bit of creativity. He probably won't, but that's what I've heard. Yeah, that's what I've heard.
He can't start, surely. I think the first game in a lot of seasons can be an anomaly. Like, and teams take a couple of games to settle into the season. So there's an opportunity in that. Of course, the opportunity is for both teams. New players from into both teams can take a while to get into what you're doing. It could go 3-0 either way. It could be more likely it's 2-1 either way. Hopefully to Leeds United, I think it should be. But it's because it's the first game. There's always a little bit up in the air. I think anything can happen in this one.
Yeah,
both teams are going to be well up for it. You know, like you say, it's first game back, so we're going to see. It's going to be exciting. Could be end to end. It could be very tactical, which Moyes is very good at that. Isn't he? You know, he sets up his teams depending on the opposition he's playing against, and obviously we're thinking it's going to be a 4-3-3 while we're going to line up. So you know, it's going to be an interesting game. Really,
I think we'll go very high octane. I think we'll go front foot. We'll press high. We'll press them all over the pitch. Moyes know that. I think he'll try and get through the first 20 minutes just solid. 2 banks of 4. And I think if we can score in the first 20 minutes, I think we could go away and win 3-0, 3-1. I think just because the first game, anything can happen, as I say.
First 20 minutes. Your team, Adam. Let's have a look at your team. This is Adam's team or preferred lineup.
Well, it's not really preferred necessarily. It's predicted lineup. Can you move that chat at the bottom, please, Matty?
It's just got more than one slide, yeah, hasn't it? It's got
there has got more than one slide. It's got an Everton team as well.
I looked at that. Okay.
So I've got Byram in there still. I think I've heard a couple of people saying Darlow might start because Perry's only played 45 minutes. I think there's 0% chance of that. Perry goes straight in. I think he played 45 minutes just because he knew he was playing this game. Keepers don't need amazing match sharpness. Training they can get it into him as well. Strout plays obviously because Bijol's injured. I think going forward, Rodon Bijol will be the first 2, but Strout's got a chance to obviously strike his claim there. Strike. Byram filling in for Bogle unless Bogle's fit. Hopefully he is. Midfield 3, I think, picks itself in this one. I think he'll play Snack because I think we have a bit more of the ball.
Agreed.
Stack and Amty are obvious, and then I think, and a lot of people said Pirro up front. I think he'll be in the Mecha because Pirro is a moments player, and in the first game, I think the Mecha will play against Arsenal certainly. I think in the first game he'll want a striker up there that's going to get involved in the game throughout the 90 minutes. Because again, like even as a manager, you're not quite sure what you're going to get. So not from Pirro necessarily, but from the game, from the team. So the Mecha being in the team and upsetting a centre backs, I think it's quite important.
I did have Pirro that's my team apart from Bogle right back. And I did have Pirro up top, but now you've just said that, I think you're probably right there that Nemecha will start.
Surely, lads, it is a 4. Easy said it won't be a 4-3-3. I mean, based on all pre-season, it will be.
The problem with that, right? So you go, what's 4-2-3-1? Are you playing Aronson ahead of Stack or Tanaka then? That'd be crazy. You're just picking a much worse footballer to fill a hole that's slightly further forward. That makes no sense to me.
Do you think he plays Brendan Aronson instead of Dan James?
No, I really hope not.
More pressing ability.
I don't think he has really got that much more pressing ability, to be honest. I think Aronson had a game where he buzzed around a lot the other day and fudged through a few tackles and came out the other side with the ball. And people suddenly think he's a better player. And he's put on a kilo of hair or whatever he's done. I just don't think. I think Dan James has been poor in pre-season. I grant you, but I think he's had enough games under his belt now in pre-season to hopefully get a bit sharper. And we'll see it. I think he did so well last season. He deserves to start anyway.
I agree. You've got to give him a bit of time if he's going to lose that shirt. I don't think he's ready to lose it just yet, mate. I think he's done enough to warrant it. I think the whole talk, because it's at home and we're not against a top 6 side, I think the fact that 4-3-3 feels to the masses, it's a little bit more defensive, a little bit more solid. Why not go to a 4-2-3-1? But I'll also flip on head and say exactly the same as you, Adam. right? Forget about that. Look at, we haven't got, if maybe, Adam, if we'd have signed a 20, 30 million pound star who's a 10, maybe you'd have looked at this and gone, well, actually, maybe a 4-2-3-1 suits your team. We're at home against a side that, you know, mid-table to low end, let's go do them. But because we haven't got that option, so a 4-2-3-1 might sound good, but like you say, you're going to take out a solid option in a 4-3-3 and move it to someone in a 4-2-3-1, who the majority of the fan base had to sort of, he grew on the fan bases last season, went on, but only because we had no choice, really. But you wouldn't put Aronson in now over any of them midfielders, for me, just to change the formation, in my opinion.
No,
if you're picking Aronson as a 10, yeah, he's a good presser. That's not what we're desperate for here. And he's what he's okay at is linking play up, going over to the winger and the fullback and trying to make those little triangles. Well, actually, with a 4-for-3, you get that anyway. Snack will do it on the right and Stack will do it on the left. We saw it all pre-season. And with a 4-3-3, it gives Snacker and Stack both license to get further forward. Stack will actually hit the box a lot. And I'd much rather that 6-4-4 German hitting the box when the cross is coming in, and 5'8" Aronson or whatever he is. So it doesn't make. I think if you pick Aronson, it actually limits us attackingly, regardless of the fact he's supposed to be a 10.
Yeah, I have to agree, mate. I think the formation 4-2-3-1 in this instance is probably decent, but you've got to have the players for it. And I think at the minute our strongest 11 lads is a 4-3-3 formation because we've got the players for that. You know, you change to a 4-2-3-1, you take one of those midfielders out to play Aronson in there, then you've only got 2 out of the 5 who've all done well in pre-season, all look like good players. I think it does lend a hand to it being a 4-3-3, maybe most games, but it would be nice to see an adaptation of, you know, a formation change. But for me, for that to happen, we need maybe an El Kanous to come. We need different players who can play that role, for me, better than Aronson. I think Aronson's looked good in pre-season, but as a winger, I think as a right winger coming up against a left fullback, he isn't going to get bullied as much as he's at middle of the park with, you know, centre halves and centre mids all over his tail. So I think he can be effective, can Aronson, for us this season, off the bench, maybe in a different capacity. But I think if you're saying opening game of the season, you're going to bang him in 4-2-3-1 as that 10. I think that would be a mistake on Farker when he's got an outstanding 11, just based on what you put out there, Adam. So yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. Yeah. What about you, Sean? I want to ask you about...
Just looking at the chat and what Joe B's just said there, do you think that the team that lined up against AC Milan, that first half was quite telling, apart from Schmidt at right back? Or not?
What was
you
that?
Tend to play your starting 11 for your first game in your last sort of friendly that you play, and like Joe's saying there, Pido started up top.
By the way, so this isn't necessarily what I think Fark will do. This is what I want to happen, and I think right. I think you're spot on that. A couple of players injured, Bijol, because even Bijol being suspended, Strout played, so that makes a lot of sense. So I think
didn't Aronson start against AC Milan, or am I wrong there?
No. Well, it was literally this lineup with Schmidt instead of Byram and Bijol. So I can't see. I think Schmidt's burnt his bridges a little bit there. I think he can't start ahead of Byram. I just can't see it. It's too risky. And I think the Metro for me just offers something through the whole 90 minutes, whereas Pirot offers something through about 15 minutes of the match, basically.
I prefer Schmidt further up the field and looking like you said.
He does.
He's just not going to. He's got no way of getting into any position because we're stacked just about, aren't we?
It's hard for me to go against Pirot starting because I feel like a little bit like James' conversation, Adam. If we're going to say he deserves a crack, he could argue Pirot does. But what I'll say is, for definitely the first 2 months of last season, he was second fiddle to Joseph as a starter. And it was very effective, Pirot coming off the bench. But I would say it became very evident very quickly that Joseph wasn't that impactful at the start of games. And that sort of took its toll going forward. But we know Pirot's really good off the bench. So there is an argument to say we're stepping up a level, obviously. So, we'll have to see kind of Metcha do what you need him to do at the start of the game. But I quite like the idea of someone pulling defenders around, running channels, holding the ball up, backing in, winning free kicks, tiring that defence out, being a physical presence, better than what maybe Joseph did. But that sort of vibe. And then you bring Pirot on for the last 20 minutes. Get him in the box. Get the ball to your wingers. Get your fullbacks overlapping when you need a goal. Let's go for it. And I think if you get the ball in the box, late on, game state, Pirro will get the goal. I don't want to knock him and say he can't start because he can, but I think he's effective off bench, lads.
I think the balance, by the way, you said there, last 20 minutes. Well, that could be the last 35 minutes, last 30 minutes. And that's where Fark might need to alter a little bit because Pirro obviously is sort of saying very different. And if you, then that, of course, is the thing. If the ball falls to anyone in the box, you want it to be Pirro every single time. Probably no matter what strikers we buy, what wingers we buy, Pirro is such a good finisher. He's a Premier League finisher. I think people would be surprised how good a finisher he is, like people haven't seen him before in Premier League. But I say, like, actually, if the option was going, oh, Nemecha's going to do 55 minutes an hour and Pro comes on, I don't mind that at all. The problem we have is, that Nemecha's going to do 70 minutes regardless, because he might not do. We might see a change in this season. But for me, I say Nemecha starts because he does all the dirty work, and we don't quite know where we stand. So it makes a lot of sense.
You want that physicality. You look at the Everton side, and I mean, well, you said that about every Premier League, but Everton are a very physical side. You've got. Is it Tchaikovsky? What is he called? That
There you go.
Oh, there you go. Tchaikovsky, Keane. Obviously, Branthwaite's missing for a massive loss. Mikolenko is injured at left back, so it looks like they're going to have to play
I wasn't sure on that. They said I read a few things, and some said he might be okay. Some said he might.
Okay. But they might have to play the new 19-year-old left back if he's out. Ghana, the gay is good. We know what Dewsbury Hall's all about there. So, do you think Barry starts, or do you think Beto starts?
Well, apparently Moyes has gone off Beto. Apparently Moyes has told Beto he can leave. I read somewhere, but again, you read different things all over the place. So you go
football inside of that, Adam. We'll have to see, won't we?
Well, no,
I've heard differently there
as well. So I don't know, but I look at that side and. Obviously, it's discipline. There's a lot of talent, and Dyer's really talented footballer. Dewsbury Hall, Barry's very talented. Alcaraz, but he's there to be got as well. Garner and Gay against. I mean, Gay's a decent player. Garner's okay, but Stack could have a field day in there. Snaka could have a lot of the ball in there. Mikolenko maybe you say O'Brien's there to be got at because he's 6'4" and playing right back. So if you, I mean, my whole thing will be okay. How are we going to get our left winger? Now, actually, on that basis, we're looking at Brian now. I'm thinking actually maybe Ramsey's not going to start. That's why I didn't start him. But actually, him getting one-on-one with Brian, you'd be laughing there. But more so than any of our wingers. So I look at that team and I think it's there to be got, especially in the first game. Say everything's settling in. I think there's something in this game certainly for us.
Yeah, I mean, I look at their front line. I think. Yeah, there's some talent there, especially if Barry starts. He's supposed to be a decent player. Everything I've been hearing from him. But I look at that, that defence and even midfield. Guy's not too bad. Keane, Tarkowski, but I feel like they're just middle at road lumps in defence there. We've been around block. They can beat you up if you're not at it. Pirro could potentially get beaten up. But then again, on a day, if ball's in the box enough, I could also see him burying a few past them too. I don't look at that defensive line, lads, and think, I'm nervous. I don't, even though the physical, I think we've got enough about us. If we can get down, down sides and get the ball in the box and no fucking around like we've seen over the last 2 years at times, tippy-tappy stuff. Let's get the ball out wide, get the ball in the box and give Pirro
a bit more direct.
Be a bit more direct because I think honestly, they're there to be got at. And I think if we're playing a 4-3-3, I think I look at that midfield and, they say it a lot, don't they? The game could be won in midfield. I look at Garner and Guy, then I think, how are they going to stand a chance against, Ampadu, Tanaka, Stack, even if they play along, whatever. I think as a free, we've seen a lot of times, haven't we, over the last couple of years. I remember playing Southampton when we played a 4-2-3-1, and I remember saying, just match him up in midfield. Let's go 4-3-3 in this game. Let's match him up because we were getting overrun. I could see this bit of game where our midfield aren't even out of second gear, and that sounds wild. But looking at that side, because I looked into them, looking at that side there, lads, it's hard not to get excited if that's how they line up for me.
Yeah,
with our midfield.
There's definitely some matchups there where you see. I say again, O'Brien against Nonto or Ramzani or James, even if he drifts left.
James.
There's. I mean, this is my. I mean, James hasn't played left for ages, but actually, it'd be quite interesting to put James up against O'Brien. Just let him run, get him 1-on-1, let him run him. I say, and that's why Tarkowski, Keane, Pro playing against them. I think if he drops off and plays in front of them, I don't think they're going to be particularly bothered. Whereas if I think the Metro playing and playing on the shoulder a little bit more and running the channels, like you said, Matty, I think that's where he can come into his own, and actually we get more joy doing that. So I think there's a lot of matchups here in this team. I say still a solid Premier League side, but there's a lot of matchups where you think we could have some joy.
Is he out, Mikolenko?
I don't know.
Well, you should know.
I've seen he's out. I've seen he's out, but who knows?
Well, even better than Everton fan here. Adam O'Brien is one of the strongest right backs. Very rarely gets beat one-on-ones. Yes, but he ain't lined up against Jack Harrison. You wait till Monday. Boom, getting smoked, mate. Getting smoked.
I thought you were going to say Ramazani then, and you.
Nah, Harrison. Tarkowski is their best player. I'm not too sure. I think Dewsbury Hall. I think that's a good move for him. To be fair, I can see him doing all right.
Yeah,
there.
no, I can see that. By the way,
it's a good
he's
move.
He's not amazing defensively. He's not really a dual winner, Dewsbury Hall. So
no, but when we talk of that 10 position, you know, like if we had a Dewsbury Hall, Adam, you maybe go to a 4-2-3 in this at home, whatever.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
100% would.
Yeah, that
100%
sort of play.
would.
Yeah, but we haven't, so we have to play with what we've got. So,
Yep.
yeah. Quicken, 200 people in the building, 150 likes. Honestly, unbelievable numbers. Please smash a like, please smash a subscribe, and please check out Wilco Whites too. So, I think that's pretty much it on that. So, I'm going to get into a few of the star comments. I've started some of them. It's hard to get through every chat. You know, I try and bring every chat up, but this is very difficult. In fact, yes, let's just touch on this as well, Adam. We're not doing a predictions table. Let me bring that down. Remove, and let me readjust us before Adam has a heart attack. There we go. Thank God that was there unsaved. I crap myself then. So, Adam, explain the predicted table, and then we'll give our predictions anyway.
We're not doing a predicted table.
There you go. Very blunt. There you go.
We're not doing predicted table.
We're not doing it this year. Just it's especially with growth for the channel as well and the show. It was hard enough for Adam to do the predictions table and get all the scores and first goal scorers when we had 50, 60 people on a live. It was difficult. It was spending a lot of hours doing it. And obviously now we've got treble, quadruple those numbers on a weekly basis, which thank you very much. It just means we're going to bring other bits and bobs like Steve from other side of the world doing a little point for you. So we'll always keep it. Go on, Adam.
Also, I think it's important that what happened was people weren't playing every week, obviously. So me and Sean were top two, and Matty was on mid-table because he doesn't understand football very well. So me and Sean were top two. And
I don't want it. I just want it again anyway, lads. It wouldn't have been fair.
No, mate, absolutely. That's the thing.
What I will say is, though, if you want to win chat, put your score prediction in. Look at Adam panicking.
We need to do ours anyway.
Yeah, put your score prediction in. Give us a first goal scorer, so it's a little bit harder. And then if you come on Late Night Leeds next Friday and you say, well, I got it right, what I'll do is I'll go double check you're not lying. I'll shout you out and I'll big you up on next Late Night Leeds. So we'll do that because there surely ain't going to be that many people on a show. But if you come back next week and go, I got it right, I'll check. It'll be too hard to find. And we'll give you a bit of a shout out and say well done. But yeah, it's just a bit too much work for Adam. He does enough. Adam's brilliant, great friend of ours. Does everything you see in here in terms of he talks shite when he's on camera. But I mean, in terms of the actual graphics and bits and bobs, he does it all. And honestly, Adam, thanks so much, mate, because you've elevated my channel, you've elevated this show beyond what me and Sean would have ever.
I've elevated Leeds YouTube, let's be honest.
Hey, don't get too big headed now. But no, it's been brilliant. So going to move into the last sort of feature, which is just simply Star Chats. So if you're going to comment, if you're thinking I'm going to comment, just don't, because it's already just enjoy the start comments and then we'll just fade out into Saturday morning. I'm only joking. So who sings your intro? Hey up, Patrick. Thank you so much for that question. I've got the full video of that song on my YouTube channel. If you want to listen to the full version, it's AI. So I wrote the lyrics, put it through AI, and it's AI. I can sing a little bit, not as good as that, and not as good as Adam. But yes, that's that one. Richard Hogan earlier, has DCL got a squad number? No evidence of it on media day. Well, I've heard, lads, that he's getting the 9 shirt off Paddy Bamford. Very similar to Perry getting Melior's number 1. He's still around the gaff, but he's been stripped of his number, apparently, and he will be getting the 9 shirt, lads, won't he? That's what we are under the impression of.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry, I was waiting for Adam then to speak.
No, I thought I was going to say something, I wasn't apparently. So my mum went blank. Yeah, fine. Yes.
No, I think it's up for grabs, isn't it? So why not? Why not?
It is. Yeah, it'll look good in number 9. Patrick, are you lads going to the game? I am, mate. I'll get it out there. I was lucky enough to get a ticket for Everton, and I'm also going to Arsenal away. I just thought I'd get that in there. I'm buzzing with that. Adam's going to Arsenal at home.
I tried Everton. I couldn't get Everton game in the thing, but I am going to Arsenal. Yeah.
And I'm not. Unfortunately, I missed the tickets. I couldn't get one.
You're not going to keep refreshing, mate, because I guarantee.
Yeah, I had a look a couple of days ago. But no,
Oh,
if I
really?
can get one, I'll be there.
So if I
can't
ring
go-
you, I'll start refreshing. If I ring you and say I've got you one in my basket, you'll go.
Oh, I've got my membership, so I can
I'll
do it
keep trying.
myself.
I'll
Yeah,
keep
you're
trying.
right. Okay.
I'll be up like Stevie all night writing poems, but refreshing.
Where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get a Newcastle ticket. I want a Newcastle ticket. And then I realised I'm in Scotland that week. So damn it. So I'm missing that one as well.
There's been a murder on the gutter. I don't know why. That's the only thing I can say.
It is. Hopefully we'll get some signal and I can listen to it on the radio.
On the radio.
Yeah, so hopefully be able to watch it up there. But
yeah, no worries, mate. Good stuff. James Justin would be a great. Yeah, Richard.
Yeah, no, 100%. 100% agree with that. Yeah, 100%.
They absolutely love him. Love him, these guys. They said it
I'm
all
with
over
you.
the show.
100%.
everything we've said tonight, and we do sign, say, James Justin and Okafor, and they come in and they're great, then fine. We'll hold us hands up. Fine.
Brilliant.
I'm not
Brilliant.
El Canoes, lads. We haven't even spoke about him. Gone very quickly. Do you reckon it's not happening?
No. I think we've still got a clear run at him. Hasn't the what's the word? He's got the release clause. I think that gone now. So I had a release clause for 24 million. That's gone now.
Today, mate. Yeah, finishes today.
It's there. So I don't know why we've waited. Cause I can't. I mean, a Leicester now wanting to go like, well, now we'll have we need 30 million for him. I don't know. Or we're trying to hold out and see. Well, El Canoes is going to try and push the move. We'll get him a little bit cheaper. I think it'd be great signing El Canoes. I really do. I'd love to get him in the door. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful with that one. Unless anybody knows anything else.
Yeah, no. 7 million for Justin.
Yeah, I think El Canoes. I think he's clearly an option, and I reckon the club thinks they can get him for the release clause around that figure, even after the release clause gone. I think so. I don't really know that push on it, and I think he's just an option. We haven't bid for him, obviously, and I think he's actually probably slightly down the pecking order. Even though we spoke to him 11, they would have spoke to a lot of players, and a lot of agents. So I think again. I think the club's been quite smart at the moment to say powder dry, wait and see what comes up, because I think some very good players become available.
We said this, haven't we? Dominoes fall, players become available that weren't available. I think that El Canoes, though, have you seen his corners? How he whips them in? That'd be perfect for the players we've got now in the squad.
Absolutely.
Oh, I love it.
I'd love it. I love him as an option. I'd love him if we got a left winger and him. And I think they could 10-8 option, and it's suddenly in the squad you've got a lot of options on teams you can play. Like people see 2-4-2-3-1. Well, yeah, that's what he gives you. So,
well, apparently Jack Harrison has been the ultimate pro training. I'd expect nothing less since he's returned, and everybody is impressed with his attitude. I think he's had to do that from the off. Now he's got to win the fans over. I don't think he'll get the opportunity if he stays enough to be on the pitch to do that. Aronson would always want to get big minutes. Similar to Vauber. Vauber won't get booed now if he'd have carried on playing for Leeds, but he never got the opportunity due to injuries and not being selected because the players above him were better. I think the formation change will mean he's limited to minutes, maybe as a sub winger. So I aren't too sure he'll have the opportunity.
All he's got to do is come in and do well. As long as he comes in, does well for the team, then he won't be fully forgiven. But
I honestly don't see where he fit in a 4-3-3. I don't see where he fits at all. As a left wing profile, again, if the wingers for me have to be able to if they get the opportunity, they've got a guy at full back. That's not him anymore. He doesn't do it. So
I think the Everton fans were a bit split on him, weren't they? But apparently he played more out on the right, which is not really comfortable. They made him play out on the right than on the left, and that sort of hindered him a little bit. I was having to cut back in and things like that. So
late fitness test, Chris. Back in training, got 4 days training yesterday, today, tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday morning. So hopefully we're back. This is a good question by Skip. If the window's shut tomorrow, so that's no James Justin, no winger, how would you rate the window? I'd probably rate it a 6. 7. If it closed tomorrow, a 6. If we sign Justin in a winger, I'd probably say a 7, maybe an 8.
I'm 7 at the minute. We get a left winger, 8. We get another striker, 9. Another good quality fullback, 10.
At the moment,
I'd
5.
I knew you'd say a 5.
Well, the thing is, we know we're missing. Like, if we actively, consciously walked into the season with your fullbacks are Schmidt and Byram as backups. It's so poor that's why it's a 5, because we know what we need. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying what we've bought so far. I'm very impressed with. But if it's shut now, like I'd be really disappointed.
Twist your arm to a 6, Adam. Twist your arm to a 6.
A lot of people disagree, but I think quality-wise, if we had the numbers in the areas we're short now, I'd be happy with the quality. Yeah, you can argue maybe you'd want a bit more, but if we were to sign Justin and if we were to sign a winger that I was happy with quality-wise, that's the one really. I feel like we need to bring a decent winger in with a bit of flair and something about him the next level up, because we have got a bit of flair out there. But I'm quite happy with what we've got. It's just at the minute numbers are well short of fullback, and like without the fullback, that's for me that's our weakest area currently. Talk about his striker good enough, his winger. The fullback right now, it's a gaping hole, is that, and that would knackers that would proper knackers.
I'd love another left back. I'd love a left-footed left back. I really would.
I'd love it. But by the way, so when I say a 5, if we got a left winger, it will be a 6. If we got a fullback, it'll be a 7. That's where I'm at, because actually I think every player is worth a point out of 10. Let's not say what we've done so far isn't brilliant. I know it's a bit ridiculous, but if we close now, it would be a bit incompetent to actually consciously go into season with this squad. It'd be really poor. Really
honestly, Easy's put an 8 there. I think that's mental when you think we haven't got a fullback cover. What I will say, Easy, we all think we'll do well. If we sign Justin and Solomon, I'm probably not far off, to be honest. I'm probably not far off.
Judging by the way, the players we got, if you go, you need centre midfielders to get stacked, you need centre midfielders to get Longstaff. All those are 7 or 8 out of 10 buys. That's all fine, But I say it's a risk. We are missing players. To score anything more than 5, I'm 6. Anything more than 6, I'm surprised, because I think we've got some such gaping holes in the squad still.
Yeah, my mate Eddie. If we sign a winger and a fullback and a striker, we have to sell some because the squad will be too big. Who goes? I don't think we'll be signing anyone of any significance. Maybe if we sign a winger,
Schmidt would go. I think
Schmidt will go. There's still a question mark. If we were to sign another winger, lads, maybe Harrison would go if someone came in for him later window.
Yeah, I have said that.
Sign a winger, but I do think it looks like he's staying currently. But if we sign another winger, then he's third choice on that side. That could soon change, couldn't it? Anyways, any movement on or Carson? The one time I gambled, I did a Joe B and went all in, but no. Apparently he's linked. There's been talks and discussions, but it hasn't come out in the ether yet, so we'll have to see. But if it does, I said it first, and if it doesn't, I never fucking said it. All right,
I'd like that for me would be a good fourth striker. Sorry,
it looks really good, but yeah, we'll see how it goes.
I haven't looked too much into him. I just went off what you said, but yeah, I'd be happy with that as a
lot of people did. My DMs have been flooded with people asking about Iceland. I'm like, no, I'm big, but I don't shop at Iceland. But anyway, moving on. William Morrison has just become a member. That's brilliant, mate. Thank you so much, William Morrison. That is brilliant. There's memberships in the channel if you want to get. William, if you want to join our WhatsApp, give us a shout on there. Look at Adam, though. My number's on there now. Become member. Mate. Ping me a message and join our WhatsApp group if you want. It's a bit mental, but they're full of great guys. But yeah, anyone who wants to become a channel member, the link is in the description. Please stick a like on the video. Please subscribe to Sean as well. Last couple.
Links in.
Oh, look at that. He's there. Look, Joe B, cheeky shit. We all know the Simicast deal, mate. I didn't go as hard, to be fair, at Simicast one, but.
Didn't he get linked again, though? Didn't I see a report earlier this week?
Yeah, and it got linked, and I thought, please don't do it, Leeds. Please don't sign him, Leeds. Don't sign him.
I'd love him if we could get him as well.
Brooke, yeah. I did think it was odd to be linked with him when he already plays for us. I did think that was a bit weird.
Ooh, you do, Aina. You a legend, Aina.
Kind of contract days ago. You should be here by now.
Aina, does Aina know about this player then?
Jack Grealish.
Aina, yes. Do you know about this player?
Yes, Aina does. And Aina knows there has been talks, don't you, Aina? But we'll leave it at that.
Right.
You'll leave it at that. So let me get through the last few chats here. Have you guys got an FPL league? Apologies if I missed it already. We do. I don't know how to join it.
Hang on.
If you can put it in chat, somehow people will have a look. I know it started.
There's a link. Might be able to. Hang on.
Let's give a shout out to Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish.
Yeah, Jack Grealish. There you go. Do you know, I do like Jack Grealish. You know, he's a
lovely man, to be fair. I don't mind him at all as a guy.
Yeah, he's a. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, sort of fell off a bit of a cliff in here at Man City, but
I went today, Mark. I might not be going to Boat on my mum's birthday. I might be having to travel over to Hornsey to see her because she's at the caravan, but I'll let you know, mate. You have some inside information, maybe. How do I get on the WhatsApp group? If you are a member now, Nigel, you should better see my number on there, mate. And yeah, just ping me a message. And I'll add you, Nigel. Look at this. I had to highlight this one earlier. Gang 1, because he's an Everton fan. Jack Harrison is the worst player I have had to watch at Everton. He's Championship player at the best. Yeah, I have to see.
Yeah, it's mixed reports. Yeah. All you get is he trains hard and he works hard and he works, work rate. But
100%. Would you be happy with this if we ended up with Solomon and Hamer? Obviously, let's say a fullback too, but would you be happy with them too?
Yeah.
Is that a failure of Leeds United that you would be happy with them now, or would you have been happy with them at the start of the window?
I'd take him, and I think he's quality. I'd take him. He's definitely Premier League class for me. Solomon, we know what Solomon can do. So I'd rather get Solomon in who we know what we can expect from him rather than an unknown who we don't know what we're going to expect. So
I think Hamer is a good option because actually the way we built a squad, he becomes an option. He can play in free midfield, he can play on the left. He's good at corners. So he's not necessarily an automatic starter, but he's a great squad option to have. Very talented player. Don't get me wrong. I think he could be an automatic starter in time. Solomon, I say, he's not the profile winger I want. He's not explosive enough, not direct enough, not dynamic enough.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. For me, I think he's lost a yard of pace. I think in the Championship he can still burn past fullbacks. I don't think he'll do it in the Premier League. Personally,
Cracker at the winger at the weekend.
I'd rather have him than Jack Harrison.
Oh God, yeah. I'd rather have you, Sean, than Jack Harrison.
Oh yeah.
I feel like the players we've been linked with last season and start of this season, or start of pre-season, it's like they've stayed where they are currently. It's like we've had them on hold. I remember when we did it with Kamara. We were like, we knew we could game at any point, and we waited to see what else we could do. And this feels very much like that. What I would say if we sign a Solomon, if we sign a Hamer, which at the minute would be like, right, sound, we've brought some bodies in, which is my main sort of thought behind it. But you look at it and go, why ain't anybody else got him? Because you sort of look at Hamer and think he's gettable. There were rumours of PSV, months ago now. Solomon, gettable. I know, like, he may have his injuries and stuff, but like, why has no one else gone for him? How can these players who have been on, been on loan, Hamer's been touted around Europe many times, how have they gone a whole window and they still haven't moved on? But Leeds can get them on last day. Do you get what I mean?
I think don't forget as well. I think the same thing as clubs waiting towards the end of the window. I think players do it as well. I mean, it all works together, doesn't it? Hamer might have had a discussion with 12 different clubs that all would like him, and he's not found the one he wants. So he thinks, "Oh, wait." I think he'll move towards the end of the window, and I think he's just holding off for option. I think Solomon's the same. I think he had a shot. He thought he had a shot at Spurs. Spurs have bought 6. We've got like 6 wingers now, so he hasn't. He's been injured as well, Solomon, through pre-season, so he's not been playing. So yeah, I think again he's probably waiting for the right option.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's mixed emotions, isn't it? That some fans. I think we had this conversation with Boston, I think, in the group, didn't we? He wanted us get the players in now, get them integrated into the squad. I can totally understand that, but then obviously, like we've just said, you've got to just hold on a little bit and just see what other players become available, because you could shoot your load too quick sometimes, and Matty knows about that, don't you, mate? But
I beat me to it. You mucky boy.
I knew you were going to say it. That's why.
This is a family show at nearly midnight. You know about this? A family show.
But yeah, you just sometimes a bit of patience. It can work both ways, can't it? We can either end up with, like you said, somebody who we weren't expecting, or we don't. Then we miss out, and it's like, right, guys, you fucked up here. We should have got them in earlier, but we'll see.
Yeah, no, I agree. We're going to have to wrap it up there because Adam needs to make some shirts. He's got some sheep to shear. So yeah. It's fair. Honestly, that first start in Dublin, he was wearing a wool shirt. Like, it looked like he had a whole, like, yeah, I'm sure. Have you got it? Can you put it on and show us? Can you model it for us?
I'm going to put it on, but I'll chat you.
I'm sure it was made of wool. Check the collar.
But he's very sweaty.
He looked very suave, but let's have a look. Let's have a look at that.
He's got a great dress sense.
Look at that. That looks woolly to me. That's wool. That. What's the tag say? What's tag say? Read us material.
Will be wool, that will it?
It says,
"Come on,
2-year-old sheep."
That was a bad joke.
It says Abercrombie and Fitch medium quality since 1892, and they're not wrong.
Love it, absolutely love it. Well, honestly, if I don't say so myself, I enjoyed that, and I thought that was a brilliant show, lads.
Yeah, good
favorite show of the week. Meeting up with you guys, great. This felt like the proper Late Night Leeds is back, starting with a preview for Everton. So, my score prediction before we leave is 2-0 Leeds. We're not going to go goal scorers, are we? But 2-0 Leeds.
Mine in the chat. 2-1. I've gone. Pirro and Stack to score. So I've gone 2-1 Leeds. Pirro and Stack to score.
3-1 Leeds. Justin to score.
Oh, lad.
and our fourth choice striker. No, 3-1 Leeds though. 3-1 Leeds.
Oh yeah, man, class.
Love it.
Yeah, absolutely love it. Thanks so much, everyone. Honestly, it's been unbelievable numbers. Thanks for the support. For all regulars, all the new people that have been in here, and thanks, Mr. Whitesnake, for agreeing to my madness. And yeah,
see the next one.
See how the week goes, and Mr. Whitesnake, get your thinking cap on for another point. And that was brilliant, by the way. Really enjoyed that. Love to Karen and the woof woof. But thanks for everyone who's been here. Appreciate it. I don't know when I'll be back. Definitely, probably Sunday, if not tomorrow. I'll be doing a bit of an Everton preview, a chat shit and. Yeah, just me in the chat. You know, I like to do it. But yeah, I'll be back over weekend. Thanks so much. Please like, please subscribe, and please go check out Sean's channel, Wilco Whites. Great content over there. Way better than me. Love my bits. Thanks so much. Take care, everybody. Thanks, Adam. Thanks, Sean. And we'll see you on next one, guys.
Thanks all.
And Adam's going to be really impressed here. See you later, everybody. Ouch.